All right, so let's take a look at our notebook. Open this up here. Go to our daily agenda here. So this is what we have today and tomorrow. Here. So for the warm-up today, we're looking at an assimilation of concepts and questions. So recall a few weeks ago when looking at rates, there was a lab that we did that related time and distance values to one another. So as I'm sure you're aware, this rate has been given a special name. So the rate was just called speed. That's what speed is. So speed is the rate of change in distance. So this combines the two measurements our mechanism engineer needed to consider when building his device so as to ensure the dials are positioned exactly correctly. So in order to make sure that the dial is pointed in at the right location. So again, if we think about the Antikythera mechanism, we think about the constellation dial. So as the dial moves over the course of the year, it's pointing at the constellation that the sun is in at that particular moment. The engineer needed to consider how fast that particular device was moving, that speed. Needed to make sure to engineer it so that the dial moved exactly enough each day to make sure that it was always aligned with the correct constellation. So what that engineer needed to consider was the distance the dial was moving and the time that it was taking to move that distance. So that's its speed. So the engineer needed to consider the speed that the dial was moving at. So how does this progress our understanding of the objectives of calculating different angular quantities? So it shows that time can be calculated by measuring a change in distance and with a speed value. So here's our two questions. So yesterday we practiced accurately measuring and recording time and distance values. So apply knowledge gained from this activity, past activities, and your prior knowledge to the questions we've been pondering in this unit. So how could this information be utilized by your team in your astronomical calendar? Okay. So the activity then today is some practice questions working with the rate of change of distance over time. So we're going to spend today and tomorrow on that. And then the exit ticket will be, after you're done with this, re-examine your responses to the questions. So after this particular activity, after working with the rate of change of distance over time, does that change your answers to the warm-up questions? So we got here.